My name is Nicole Whitlock. I'm with eCom Sellers Academy. And I am a single mom with two special needs kids. I love helping people learn how to sell on different platforms, how to use e-commerce to make money, to make ends meet, which is what I do. Like that's what we always strive to do. And to also use e-commerce, to be able to fund vacations, to be able to fund, medical expenses, to be able to fund day-to-day living. And so I believe that e-commerce is a viable solution. It happens to be at the time of this training, September of 2022. And so we are going into what is considered Q4. And Q4 is one of the most profitable times of the year. During Q4, a lot of people make a lot of money on a lot of different platforms, and one of the platforms that they make a lot of money on is Amazon. So typically around Q4, there's some restrictions, some guidelines for new sellers. But it looks like right now, as of today, Amazon has not published those restrictions guidelines for new sellers. So we're going to talk about Amazon from a general standpoint and get into the weeds. So the first thing is that if you want to learn how to sell on Amazon, there's Amazon training in your back office. If you log into eCom Sellers Academy, you can scroll down and there are a lot of videos on Amazon. Amazon training is embedded in the shopping for profits training. It is embedded in the retail arbitrage training, and there is an Amazon standalone training as well. There's also references and mentions of Amazon inside of the wholesale training, inside of the sourcing training, inside of the drop ship and print on demand training. And the reason that it is mentioned in so many different places in your back office, and there's also a back office training that shows you your back office for Amazon sellers. And that is because Amazon is one of the most profitable platforms to sell on. Now, they do have the most guidelines, the most restrictions. And so, what I'm doing is I am starting from the Amazon website on how to sell on Amazon. We're going to look at a couple of different pages that are specifically Amazon's pages so that you can get a feel for what you can and cannot do when it comes to being a seller on Amazon. Now, I do want to encourage you, if you are a brand new seller, you've never sold anything before in your life, then what you may want to do is focus on the retail arbitrage training. The retail arbitrage training or the shopping for profits training shows you how to find profitable products in your local stores, just everyday products. Something as simple as a box of pancake mix. Going to the store, finding a box of gluten-free pancake mix, and then taking that product and selling it on Amazon for a profit, keeping the difference. So there's many different products that you can do that with. There's multiple products that you can do that with. But yes, finding profitable products to sell on other platforms is one of the easiest ways to get started on Amazon. Now, I will tell you that Amazon does have some limitations and some restrictions. I will see if I can find my training video. There's some slides that I've put together before on being gated and ungated. So we'll talk through that in just a minute. So let's go through this first. The first thing, and again, this is just doing the search for selling on Amazon, becoming a seller. As we go down through Amazon's site, they're going to ask you for some information, and you'll notice that it is $39.99 a month. That's for the selling fees. However, there's an asterisk there because there is a way to create your seller account and not spend the $39.99. So there are a lot of benefits to being a seller on Amazon. You can choose to, a couple of different things you can do is you can choose to list items on Amazon and ship them to your customer directly, or you can list items on Amazon and let Amazon send them to your customer for you. If you let Amazon send those products to your customer for you, that is called FBA or fulfillment by Amazon. So I'm confident in this. They're going to talk about that. But the thing about Amazon, it is considered one of the most profitable platforms because they have such a great name brand. The name brand is so recognizable. When people say they're going to go online to buy, most of the time, the first place that they start searching for products is typically Amazon in most cases. Not in all cases, but in most cases, they will start with searching for products on Amazon. So that's the reason why becoming an Amazon seller could be extremely lucrative and extremely profitable for you. Okay. So if you decide that you want to become an Amazon seller, you got to decide how you want to start. And again, if you're a new seller, I definitely recommend FBA. They do provide support. Some would say it's questionable. I would say it's questionable. They do have training videos, Amazon University and Google, in YouTube, and you can go through some of their training videos. And you can also go through some of our training videos. But here's the deal: going through this, learning how to sell on Amazon, there is the getting started video, the beginner's guide to selling on Amazon, to grow your business on Amazon, to build, grow, and protect your brand. So if at a later point you want to establish a private label brand or a white label, use white label products and establish your own brand. Let's say you have cat toys. And so maybe the name of your cat is Millie. So Millie's Cat Toys might be the name of your brand that you want to establish. They're going to walk you through what you need to do to protect your brand on Amazon. And we'll talk through that as well. So you can build your online store with your brand. And a lot of people, when they sell on Amazon, Amazon is definitely favorable to those who have a brand. So if you're doing retail arbitrage and you're selling a variety of different products every single week or every single day or every single month, then you're going to find that there are different guidelines that you're going to always potentially bump up against that Amazon's going to make you either qualify for or satisfy before you can sell these different products. But if you have your own brand, you'll find that you have a little more freedom and a little more flexibility. So going through this, learning how to sell on Amazon and using Amazon's information as a starting point, that's absolutely fine. To get some additional insights of sellers that have been doing it for a while, like myself, then again, you can go through the training in your back office. So, and then they have a bunch of free tutorial videos inside of Seller University. So again, there's a bunch of videos. They are very generic. They will walk you through. Some of them are basics of creating a listing. Some of them are basics on how to do variation listings. Variation listings are if you're selling maybe a pair of socks and you've got a red pair of socks, a blue pair of socks, a green pair of socks, and a black pair of socks. Well, that's a variation. Or maybe you have small, medium, and large. So that is considered a variation. The product is socks. They're the same socks, maybe even and the same name brand, but they might come in different sizes or different colors. And so therefore, you have to create a variation listing. Getting help from an Amazon account manager. Again, an Amazon account manager is definitely available to those who have big brands. Big brands, definitely. How much does it cost to sell on Amazon? So they're going to walk you through the Amazon selling fees, using FBA to scale your business. That's sending your inventory. Again, you can either purchase inventory or acquire inventory, however you get it, and have that inventory shipped to the customer directly when they buy it. So you'll get an Amazon notification and have the product shipped to a customer, or you ship it to the customer, or you can use Amazon FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, and have them ship it to the customer. And again, FBA can help you scale your business faster because you're always about learning how to multiply yourself. I want you to imagine you working 5 hours a week in your business and how much progress you could make. And then what if you doubled your efforts, but didn't double your hours? Again, using a VA, having another source to be able to ship to the customer. If shipping to customers takes you 5 hours each week, what if you didn't have to do that anymore? What if Amazon did that for you? So that's what FBA, again, can help you scale your business, and they will talk about that. Handmade products, if you have handmade products or establishing an Amazon business, and also B2B, so selling your products directly to other businesses. A lot of people will do that. They will establish an account so that they can do B2B business. Advertising your products on Amazon using Amazon's PPC, and then different case studies about Amazon third-party sellers. Because once you list your products, once you, first of all, apply, that's the first thing. Once you apply to be a seller on Amazon, the next step of that process is creating your account. When you create your account and Amazon approves it, you are officially a third party seller. So, going through that whole process of creating your account so that you can become a third party seller. All right. So the next thing is they talk about what is e-commerce, introducing selling. So e-commerce is pretty much any transaction that is online where you're purchasing a specific product and that product is being shipped to a customer. So the transaction for the product is online. So that could be anything from buying something that's a downloadable digital product to, actually buying a physical candle that's going to be shipped to a customer, something like that. Okay. So that's what e-commerce is. It's online. It's an online transaction. That's where it starts. Okay. Inventory management. They walk through that, helping you to understand terminology and also drop shipping. So drop shipping is a viable option on Amazon. And the reason it is a viable option is because if you establish a wholesale account and that wholesale supplier will ship the products to your customer for you, then that is considered drop shipping. If they're shipping the product to your customer for you, again, that is considered drop shipping. So Amazon does have guidelines around drop shipping. You can't do random drop shipping like I'm going to ship it from, I don't know, Costco or Sam's Club. They're not going to allow you to do that. But they will allow you, if you have a business established and you have a business account established with a wholesale supplier that will ship the product to your customer for you, you can definitely do that. Okay. And then creating your Amazon storefront, Amazon University, which we talked about before. And one of the ways, the second way that you can get started selling on Amazon fairly quickly, in addition to doing retail arbitrage or shopping for profits, is selling books. So you can sell books on Amazon, and a lot of people make a lot of money selling books. There's so many different creative ways in which to acquire the books. And we talk about selling on Amazon using books or sourcing using books inside of your back office. So if you go again into your back office for eCom Sellers Academy, you will see that we have several training videos on books. All right. So this is like an overview, and they have a button here for you to get started. So let's go through, and we're going to look at a couple of these so that you have an idea of what you can potentially expect, whether you are reviewing stuff directly from your back office training or you're reviewing stuff that's directly on Amazon. So Amazon has the how to get started. When you click on the how to get started, they're going to give you the tips on how to get started on Amazon successfully, and they're going to walk through those tips. You're more than welcome to go review that. But again, you need to figure out how you want to get started. That's my suggestion, is figuring out how you want to get started. Okay. Then once you figure out how you want to get started, whether you want to do, retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, which is shopping, both of them are shopping for profits, but one of them is online shopping for profits and the other one is not. And then if you want to do drop shipping, or if you want to do private label, again, just figuring out how you want to get started. So that's the one thing that you need to figure out before you get into anything else. The next thing is the pricing. So how much will it cost to sell on Amazon? So as we go through and look at the pricing, they have the different plans. So they have the plan. This is the first plan, comparison plan, where we're looking at the 99 cents items sold and the $39.99 per month. So I'm going to say that we recommend in eCom Sellers Academy that you sign up for a professional account instead of signing up for an individual account. With a professional account, you have a lot more functionality and a lot more features. So if you're planning on selling more than 40 units in a month, if you want to advertise your products, if you want to qualify for top placement of products, the detail page. So if you're going to have a private label brand, you want to get a better chance of getting the rotation of the buy box, you plan on doing some FBA, all of those things, a professional account is going to benefit you. Now, if you're not making any money, you haven't made any money, then, starting off with an individual account is probably going to be more cost effective for you. But eventually, at some point, you want to transition from an individual account to a professional account. So after you sell your first 40 items in a month, they recommend that you transition over to a professional account. I think that after you've sold at least 20 items, if you're doing individual, 20 products, then you should go ahead and transition to a professional account. Okay. So the other thing about a professional account is it will allow you to go through the process of selling products in restricted categories. And I'm going to talk about restricted categories in just a second. But I want you to know that you have a lot more flexibility by paying the $39.99. So when you look at your costs that you're dealing with as a seller, I would put it into your budget and put that $40. I just put $40 into the budget so that you're aware of what that's a cost, an expense to you. Okay, that's an expense to you. The next thing is all of the selling fees. So the fees for an individual account versus a professional account are going to be completely different. That's the reason why I say $20 instead of $40, because then that way you can manage your fees. Now, you will hear sellers talk about Amazon selling fees, and there's a lot to the fees. I mean, there's just a lot that Amazon is going to charge. But the one thing that you are getting when you're selling on Amazon is that you are getting the exposure. The automatic exposure is what you're getting. And so that automatic exposure is what's going to help you when it comes to um, being able to get more traction and potentially more sales on your products. Okay. So you can go through and look at the Amazon fees, and then you'll see the Amazon fulfillment fees, learn more about that. And you'll see, again, FBA fees. You have fees for seller, fulfillment by seller, which is you, or fulfillment by merchant. Again, that is you. And so if you are fulfilling the order yourself, then your fee structure, Amazon outlines what your fee structure is going to be here. If you are doing FBA and you're going to send it into Amazon, again, this is your fee structure. The one thing I don't immediately see is I don't immediately see the storage fees immediately. Dimensions, they got the weight, fulfillment per unit, surcharge. So they are including some of those fees. Let me just scroll down. FBA apparel, they've got apparel, they got small and light. Okay, so they did make adjustments based on that. And then, yes, here's the storage fees. So all of those numbers that you saw above that we just looked at, you're also going to have to deal with these numbers as well. So January through September, this is what the average storage fees are for, the standard size. And then oversized products, here's the storage fee. And then October, November, and December, here is the amount that they're going to charge you per cubic foot. And then for oversized, they're going to charge you $1.20. Now, here's the thing that you need to know. Amazon wants you to be successful, and you want to be successful as well. Okay. So they don't want your stuff to sit in their warehouses if you're going to send it into Amazon, which is fulfillment by FBA. They want your products to sell. So they want you to find products that are going to sell and find products that are going to move. That should be your objective. That should be your goal, to always be sourcing and looking for products that are going to move and that are going to sell. Okay. And then there's some additional Amazon estimated FBA fees. This is their little calculator thing that they're showing you what your fees might be. So the thing that you need to know about Amazon is that, again, you can have a flat percentage, and then that flat percentage will have some additional fees added to it. So there's a lot of different fees. There are reports in your back office as an Amazon seller that will break down the different things that you're going to see in your back office. Like for me, I'll explain one of them. This is advertising, Amazon PPC, and the cost that's associated with that. So inventory placement. One thing about Amazon is that when you are creating a shipment, if you're going to do Amazon FBA, So again, Amazon FBA is that you want Amazon to ship it to your customer. The benefit of Amazon FBA, when Amazon ships it to your customer, so fulfillment by Amazon, is that your product will have the Prime logo next to it. The Prime logo means that it guarantees the 2-day shipping. That's what the Prime logo does for you. So since it guarantees the 2-day shipping, the thing that will happen sometimes is Amazon will want your shipment that you're about to send into their warehouse. They may want to split out into different pieces. They may want to split it out, and maybe you're sending in 200 units. Of those 200 units, they may want to have 50 units sent to a warehouse that's in Washington State. They may want to have another 50 units sent to a warehouse that's in Washington, D.C., completely different ends of the United States. They may have another 50 units that they want sent to Florida. And they may have another 50 units that they want sent to Missouri. So Amazon has warehouses everywhere. With inventory placement in this example, they're going to charge you a fee for not sending your inventory into a variety of different warehouses, but only sending your inventory directly into the Amazon warehouse, to one Amazon warehouse, and letting Amazon distribute that. So with inventory placement, instead of sending in 4 different shipments for one product, because you got 50 going to 4 different places. That's a lot. That means you're paying that fee to break this shipment up of 200, I don't know, candles, something, socks, whatever you want it to be. You have to break that shipment up. And Amazon says, I want you to send 50 to these different places. If that's what ends up happening, what you can do is you say, no, Amazon, I don't want to send it to all these different places. I would rather it go to one single address. And if it goes to one single address, then you, Amazon, you can distribute it from there. You can spread it out, and I'm not going to pay that. So Amazon will charge you what's called an Amazon placement fee, which is typically about 30 cents. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. That's one of those options. They have partnerships with different carriers. So all of the fees and the costs will be in your back office when you log into your back office. They also have premium account services and different things like if you want them to do some level of minimal prep, they'll do a lot. They'll charge you a lot for it. So the pricing for Amazon can get a little dicey. You can scroll through and you can look at what the fees might be and what your costs might be and what you can expect, again, by going through this page and trying their revenue calculator. All right. So the next thing that we want to do is, let me just see, was there something else that I wanted you guys to look at real quick? All right, so we talked about the $39.99, and we highly recommend you choose the $39.99. The referral fees, they say that they can be between 8% and 15%, but we just saw that, it's not always just a number. Sometimes it's a number with some extra stuff. So one of the things that we do inside of our retail arbitrage list that we send out is, instead of doing the flat fee of 15%, we do 17%, because Amazon always has 9,000 different fees and percentages and charges. Same thing for, so if you're doing merchant fulfilled or FBA, including all of those different, again, all of these numbers, they're not just one number. That's the thing about Amazon. So even though you'll work with some people, depending on who you get training from, they may say, oh, well, it's 15% and it's always been 15%. But the reality is there's a whole bunch of other fees. There's always a bunch of fees. And so we don't just do the 15%. We add a bunch of different in there so that way we have a higher percentage. And that's what you'll see when you go through and download your retail arbitrage list, that we calculate a higher amount. We overcalculate. So that means that your profit may actually be higher than what you have listed on the spreadsheet, which is a good thing. All right. So going through this, they tell you the starting guide. So you can go to that beginner's guide so you can get started selling, building your store. If you're going to do a store and a brand, they love stores and brands, just so you know. Amazon FBA, sending your inventory directly into Amazon. And when you do that, you get the Prime logo on your product. And a lot of customers who have Prime accounts like that because they have the guaranteed 2-day shipping. Advertising your products, if you want to do that, you can do that. If you want to go through and look at Amazon University, so let's go look at Amazon University real quick. So when you click on the Amazon University, like all of these videos are going to take you directly. Some of these are articles. They have a YouTube channel. There we go. So the videos, they are short videos, as I said before, very short, bite-sized videos. This one is 2 minutes and 20 seconds. This one is 6 minutes. This one is 4 minutes. So they're walking you through the process on Amazon for these different things. And there's an actual, YouTube channel, as I said before, where all of these videos are located. So if I were to click on 5 guidelines for sourcing products, it's going to launch on YouTube. And hold on, let me just go down. Whoops. I have to make this smaller or something. Okay, so I know that this is broadcasting on YouTube. I can tell you that right now. And you can see that they have more videos and sort of a playlist. So you can go through the more videos if you want to. You can scroll through and see all of the videos that Amazon has for the Amazon University. And you can go through that library. You can share this video. So if you want to share it with yourself, you can go ahead and click on the share. Once you click on the share, you'll get the link. And so then that way you can go and take a look at it from there. But again, this happens to actually be on YouTube. I happen to know that. All right, from Amazon University. And there's more videos. So you have a lot of videos that you can look at if you decide you want to go there. You can also read Amazon's articles. You decide what you want to do and how you want to do it. And again, the bite-sized videos can help you piece by piece. But the thing that I do want to encourage you is I don't want you to spend your entire life and all your time. I don't want you to spend all of it looking at videos. I need for you to take some action. I need for you to move forward in your business, source a product, first of all, apply. It's the first thing. Source a product, list the product, so that way you have the opportunity to get familiar with the platform. Okay, that's the one thing that I do want to encourage you to do. So we've gone through some of the Amazon beginner starting stuff, and there's a couple of things I do want to talk about. Restricted items and restricted brands. So we'll get that in just a second. We talked about some of the pricing. We talked about FBA. We talked about the little library that they have available, and of course their blog. Now, the other thing that I do want to talk to you about is the registration for Accelerate. Accelerate is happening now. If you happen to come to this page, start selling on Amazon, it's going to take you through the same things. So you can scroll down through here. You can click on the sign up. Make sure that if you decide that you want to sell on Amazon, that you have all of your information together. Amazon is going to want to know your business name, your address, the email address, your tax information. You need to make sure that you have those things first before you start creating your account. And as you continue to create your account, you need to make a note of what you wrote. Make a note of what you wrote or what you typed in. Because if at any time there's a discrepancy in your account, you have to reconcile or resolve something, and you provide them with an alternative address that's different than the one that you started for your taxes, or you give them a different tax ID, or you give them a different email address, it's going to potentially cause red flags on your account. So make sure that you note everything that you're putting in to Amazon to create this account. That's the first thing. The second thing is I'm going to encourage you to start with one account. Don't create multiple Amazon accounts from the start. Create one account, get comfortable with that account, get used to that account. And if you are consistently listing, consistently selling aggressively, so working more than 20 to 30 hours a week in your business, and you're getting a lot of traction over 3 to 6 months, and you want to create another account, then that's when I would recommend doing that. I wouldn't recommend doing it before 6 months of consistency and 6 months of volume consistency. You can be consistent listing one thing a day and selling something once every 5 or 6 weeks. That's not consistency. I mean, you can be consistent about it, but you're not gaining any traction. You are going to have to do some volume. So, 200 units, 300 units, 400 units of consistency before you approach Amazon and say to them, you want to create a second account. Just know that Amazon is paying attention to your IP address. They're also paying attention to your computer serial, and they're also paying attention to the information you set up in your account, the bank account you attach to it, your email address, and all of those things. They all matter. So make sure that if you're going to try to create a second account, that you're mindful of all that. Don't link it back to the same email address or same bank account or the same street address for the business. Okay, so just some little tips. Those are things that people have done, and they're like, I don't understand why my second account got shut down and my first account. Well, you created a situation for yourself. All right. So come through, take a look at this information. It is a lot of information to digest. I do encourage you that if you are a new seller, to definitely sign up for Accelerate. So Accelerate, when you go to sell on Amazon, you go to events. Accelerate is happening the 14th and 15th. Is technically the 14th, 15th. 13th, 14th, and 15th. So today is the 13th. If you click on register now, it's going to take you to a page, and you will actually have access to the virtual. So virtual platform, log into the virtual platform. So the first thing you have to do is you have to register. And so this is why you should attend if you're going to register for the virtual, to be inspired, to learn, to connect. So they've got this lovely little flip notes here and to help you to engage. You can't engage if you're doing virtual. So unless you're getting on a plane, you're going to be doing the whole be inspired and learn instead of connected and engage. So they have over 30 hours of breakout sessions is what they're offering. Some live Q&As. For those that are there, they're giving some in-person sessions, 3 engaging general sessions. And then here's an overview. So you'll see they have the 13th, they have the 14th, and they have the 15th here. Okay. So the 13th, which is today, they were doing registration and handing out the bags. So there's nothing exciting that you've missed today being September the 13th. But tomorrow, they have multiple breakout sessions that they're going to be covering. And so when you register, you'll get a list of what those breakout sessions are, and you can decide which ones you want to listen to. Now, all of the breakout sessions are not like recorded or 100% available. So I just want you to be aware of that. All of the breakout sessions are not that. Okay. So with the free, which is, if you register, 30 hours of breakout sessions plus a virtual chat with an Amazon seller help. So if you're a person that's currently a seller and you're having problems with your account, you can actually chat with someone during this Accelerate. This is a great time to say, hey, I'm having this problem. If you haven't been able to get resolution before, this might be the time in which you get resolution. You're also going to see some of the seller interviews, and then, of course, they're going to have some networking huddles. They may also tell you what networking groups are available in your local area. So, again, you can register for the free. If you go to the free, I think like they're going to ask for your name, your email address, your account, and so you'll go through that process if you're going to register for the free. Okay. And let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you really want to know here. Agenda. Let's see if we can see the agenda. Okay. So with the agenda, you have an option for an agenda builder. And so the different sessions that they're going to offer, they kind of walk through and who's going to be there. Wow. So depending on what level of a seller you feel like you are, if you're a beginner and an intermediate or advanced, I can go over here and I can click on virtual, and then I can click on session type. So maybe it's getting more help from the help desk. Nope, no sessions. Partnerships, partner connect. Nope, no sessions. Wow. All right, so let's scroll down. Hold on. Okay, so virtual, you have options to work on advertising, promotions, increasing operational efficiency, navigating selling on Amazon. That might be the one that you sign up for, depending. Nope, no session found. So they do not have a lot of options for virtual. So I don't know what's going to show up for virtual. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen for virtual. I guess session one from 9 a.m. until 10:30 is what you're going to see. And then day two from 9 a.m. to 10:30 is what you're going to see. And the closing remarks. And that's all you're going to see virtually. So you won't get to see any of the other, there's no capacity limits for virtual, but there's not any other options either. So I don't know. So go register and see what you can sign up for, see what's available to you, and see what you have the opportunity to learn from. So, with that being said, I'm going to look real quick. I don't want to have a lot of stuff. I don't know what I have here. So let me not show my screen for just a second. Let me stop sharing and screen share. Okay. Ah. Hold on. Okay, we're going to talk about ungating real quick. So we have, I refer to it as the auto ungating party. We used to host this all the time. And it was um every week, every other week. We would have the auto ungating party. So what that was is just talking through what you need to do to get approved to be able to sell products on Amazon in different categories. So as a seller of products on Amazon, there will be some products that you will not be approved to be able to sell. That it may be a product category, or it may be a product brand, or it may be a product secondary category. So all of those are potential chances that you may not be able to, sell. So what the process of getting approved to be able to sell in certain categories or to sell certain brands is referred to as ungating. It's really not ungating. They're just telling you that there are certain categories that are restricted or gated, and there are certain brands that are restricted or gated. So this process walks you through what you need to do to get ungated or get unrestricted. So there's a couple of links to the whole list of gated um, categories, restricted, and some of the brands and what you need to do, what's prohibited, what's not. So that's what these links are to. So let's go to the categories. Right now on Amazon, and I need to go double check this again, there's not a lot of categories that require approval. As you can see, and I don't know how much of this you can see. Like, okay, so Amazon device accessories approval required, no. But the products have to be in new, certified, or refurbished or used condition. Okay. Beauty is they will only allow you to sell things that are in the beauty category as new. And it is when it says approval required, it says no. No approval is required. So it is not a gated category. Okay. As I go into books, like, okay, same thing. Books, you can sell them in new, used, or collectible, and it's not gated. So let me just give you some hidden tips here. What you see on Amazon's category list is not always 1000% accurate. And let me just explain why. Just because beauty is ungated, it's open to everybody, and you can sell beauty products in there, doesn't mean that there aren't secondary categories or subcategories or specific brands where Amazon says, nope, you need to get approval to sell this brand. or you need to get approval to sell in this secondary category. So just because it says approval required no for beauty doesn't mean that 100% of everything under the beauty category can be sold by you. That is not the case. There are some brands where you are required to get approval to be able to sell. There are some secondary categories where you're required to get approval to be able to sell those products. So this is one of those I refer to as like with the asterisks, take it with a grain of salt. When it says it's open, it's available, there's no restrictions, or approval is not required to sell, just know that I am telling you that yes, there is some approval or some requirements that are needed to be able to sell. Same thing with books. So the one thing about books, if you go through and you watch our book training, we're telling you that you can sell right now. Amazon says you can sell books in new, used, or collectible condition. But the reality is you cannot sell books in new condition. If you are not a distributor or a publisher, you cannot sell books in new condition on Amazon. As a third-party seller, every time you list a book, it needs to be used like new. Okay. It cannot be in a new condition. And when you go through our book training, you will know that. So, again, looking through the categories where it says these categories require approval and these categories don't, just take it with a grain of salt, because sometimes the secondary or subcategories require approval. And sometimes the brands, if there are really well-known brands like Dove and Beauty, might require some approval. You have to go through a process to get approved. Okay, you've been warned. So right now it says for the categories that collectible coins is restricted, that entertainment collectibles is restricted, fine art is restricted, and I'm going after the ones that say yes under the approval required. Automotive and sports, power sports, it says yes. Music says yes. Sports collectibles says yes. Video, DVD, Blu-ray, and watches all say yes. All the other categories for Amazon say no. Whoa. Now, there's a couple of them that they tell you flat out that no, there's no restrictions for this particular category, but certain subcategories require approval. So they are very clear on office products, outdoor, personal computers, pet supplies, software. Up here is health and personal care. Down here it says video games. But when I'm over here in beauty, it doesn't say that. Baby, it does. So again, it's sort of misleading at times because they're not giving you that information point blank. The other thing is that they do have some restricted products, products that are prohibited or not allowed to be sold on Amazon, or you have to jump through some additional hoops in order to be able to potentially sell these products. So there are some that are just flat out, you're not going to be able to sell them on Amazon. And then there are some that you're going to have to go through some additional processes to be able to be approved to sell those specific products. So that's what the second link is, a restricted products link, and going through that process of addressing and dealing with those specific restricted products. Okay. So during the auto ungating party, if you run into a situation, and this is what we talk about, you can make a note or take a screenshot of this, because this is just a few stores for toys to get approved for toys this Q4. But we're going to move on. When you go through the process, and we will talk about this in the next week's training, you're going to install what's called the Amazon Seller app. Once you install this Amazon Seller app, you can use it to scan products. You can also log into your Amazon back office and type in the product that you potentially want to sell, that you've sourced, you've acquired, and you want to sell it on Amazon. If you try to add that particular product to your Amazon inventory in your back office, and Amazon says, no way, it says restricted, then you're going to go through the process of getting ungated or approved to be able to sell that product on Amazon. So Step one of the process is to log into your Amazon seller account. You can do the app or you can log into your back office. Step two is to add the product to your inventory, whether you're adding the product to your inventory in the app or whether you're adding the product to your inventory because you typed it into your Amazon back office and clicked on add a product. Step three is to enter the ASIN. So you can put in the ASIN or you can put the name of the product when you come to the add a product section. Step four is if when you try to add the product and it says restricted or something else, approval required, in most cases it'll say restricted or approval required, then you're going to click on request approval. Now, here's the deal. If you have been consistent, when I talk about that whole 3 to 6 months of consistently working in your business and you're coming across some products where they say it's restricted, I can't sell it. Amazon is the only platform that has all of these extra guidelines. You don't have all of these extra guidelines on eBay. You don't have them on Walmart. You don't have them on a lot of the different platforms. You only have these extra guidelines on Amazon. Now, are there some restrictions on eBay or restrictions on Bonanza, restrictions on Google Shopping, restrictions on Walmart? Yes, but not to the degree or the volume that Amazon has. So again, these steps are really tailored towards Amazon and no other platform. So next, you're going to click on request approval. And if you've been consistent for that 3 to 6 months that I previously mentioned, then there's a high probability you might automatically be approved to be able to sell this particular product brand or in this category, secondary subcategory. Okay. And we are going to talk about categories and secondary categories in next week's session. But if you have not been approved, if they say, no, I require some documentation, here's your next steps. So the next thing that you want to do is you want to buy a particular product. You can buy Dove. There's so many different Dove products. There's shampoo, there's conditioner, there's lotion, there's body wash, there's soap like the bar soap. There's cream, all kinds of stuff. So you can buy a Dove product. And what I typically do is find a wholesaler that I can find any Dove product, because 90% of the time in this particular example, I'm being restricted by the brand Dove, not by the soap or the shampoo or the conditioner or whatever. If I find a soap, conditioner, shampoo, or whatever that doesn't have Dove and that is not a well-known name brand, then there's probably an opportunity for me to sell that on Amazon without having to worry about getting approval. But in this example, Dove would be considered a restricted category, restricted brand. And so I have to get approval to be able to sell Dove. So one of the things that I could do is I can continue to be consistent and I might automatically get approved. Or I could contact a wholesale supplier, establish an account, and buy at least 10 of the Dove products, at least 10 wholesale using my business account. Again, my business that I set up with Amazon, the invoice should be the same. They should match. So whatever my business name is, whatever that business address is, whatever that EIN or tax ID is, that should match that invoice with that wholesale supplier. I'm going to buy 10 of those Dove products. I don't care what the Dove products are. I'm going to find the cheapest Dove product I can find. I don't care what it is, because it's not about flipping that Dove product for a profit. It is not about flipping the Dove product for a profit. It is 100% about being approved to sell any Dove product. So if I lose $20 on these 10 Dove products that I bought, the same Dove products, so a quantity of 10 of the same product, if I lose $20 so that I can make $20,000, I'm okay with that. I can afford to, in this example, lose or waste $20 so I can make $20,000 or $2,000. Doesn't matter. I'm just trying to get approved to be able to sell Dove products. So I hope that you understand that step one of the process, well, not step one, but after I request approval, if I don't get approval, I can come back, I can be consistent and, um, you know, gain approval maybe later, or I can contact a wholesale supplier who has Dove. That would be step A. I can establish an account with that wholesale supplier. That's step B. I could go ahead and order a quantity of 10 of their cheapest Dove product. That's step C. I can take that invoice and send it into Amazon where I had requested approval previously. That's step D. And I can use that to help me to get approved to be able to sell Dove products. These steps work under every circumstance, whether it is selling a Dove product or whether it is selling Disney toys. It works over and over again. Go through the A, B, C, and D process, and you can go through the process of getting approved. Just make sure that your invoice information matches your Amazon account information so that it expedites the process of being able to get approved in a timely manner. And then when you submit that invoice, that you include the Amazon ASIN. The ASIN is the number that Amazon has given any product. So the last thing I do want to go through is, now that we've kind of gone through a little bit, and that was what I went through was the ungating was extra information. The reason I went through the extra information is that I want you to know that when you get ready to sell on Amazon, you may not always be able to sell everything you want to sell as a beginner. And so there will be a process that you're going to have to go through. Now, are there a lot of products that are on Amazon that you could potentially sell that have no gating, that are not gated, that don't require any additional approval? Yes, there's a lot of them. They're not as well known and there may not be as popular, but there are a lot of products available. Okay. And so I want you to be aware of that. That I don't want you to get discouraged, that there is a process that you can follow so that if you run across a product that you want to sell and Amazon says, no, you can't sell it, that you can actually go through the process to be able to get approved to sell it. So that's the reason why I went through that exercise. So now that we've kind of talked through what's happening with Amazon and getting started on Amazon and some of the things you need to consider, you're going to go through the process of establishing your account. Once you establish your account as a new seller on Amazon, again, remember the things that we talked about, your specific things that you're going to need to pull together. And you can come to this Sell on Amazon Beginner's Guide and you can download their ebook as well. Then the next thing that I want you to do is you got to figure out your sourcing. Now, I always use Amazon as my starting point to figure out what to potentially sell onto Amazon. I use them as my source because they give you a lot of great information. So the last thing we're going to do today is we're going to go and look at what I refer to as the Amazon Top 100 or Amazon Bestsellers list. You can type in Amazon Bestsellers. You can type in Amazon Top 100. So I'm going to type in Amazon Bestsellers. And what Amazon will do is they will give you a list of products that are currently selling on their platform that are in the top 100 of every category. We looked at a bunch of products and we looked at a lot of different categories. That category list that we were looking at before, hold on, there we go. We looked at a category list before, and so these are all those categories that we saw on that piece of paper that on the screen. These are all the categories of products that you can sell on Amazon. Now, will you be able to sell in all of those categories? Maybe not. And will you be able to sell in all the secondary categories? Maybe not. But these are all the Amazon categories. And so you can find out what the top 100 products are that are selling, fastest moving, selling the most frequently in every single category. So if I wanted to know what the fastest selling products are in beauty and personal care, I can click on beauty and personal care over here in the Amazon Top 100. And then what I will see below that is called the secondary category. The secondary category is bath and bathing accessories. It is foot, hand, and nail gel, nail cream, fragrance, gift sets, hair, makeup, tools, and accessories. If I click on tools and accessories, there might be another category underneath it. Underneath tools and accessories, under beauty and personal care, these are the subcategories under the secondary category. So bags and cases, you know, bathing accessories, cotton balls and swabs. And so what Amazon will reveal to me is the top 100 products in all of these categories. The primary category, the secondary category, and the next level category. As a seller, when I'm trying to figure out what to potentially sell, I can go and see if I can find related products or similar products that are already selling very well. Amazon is telling me right now under beauty and personal care that this is the number one product. This is the number two product. This is the number three product. This is the number four product. And so they're telling you the top 100 in the primary category. Then I can go look at the secondary category and I can go look at the next level category. The one great thing about this is there's a Chrome extension under Jungle Scout that you can install on your PC, and you can find out how often this particular product is selling, how fast and how often. So I went to the Pop Shop. That's what Pop Shelf. Pop Shelf. 2 weeks ago for a shop and learn. And in that Pop Shelf, I found some acne patches. And these acne patches were selling like crazy. Not this particular brand. This is Mighty Patch. But I found a similar brand that's selling like crazy, or yeah, selling like crazy on Amazon. And they have a white label opportunity there. So that means if I wanted to establish a brand, I could establish a brand with a white label opportunity. So I noticed again that this is in the Amazon Top 100. So when I went and did some research, I found that this product was selling, and I don't remember right now, but I want to say like at least 300 times a day or 400 times a day. So 400 times a day times this price is a nice number when it comes to sales. So this could be something that, again, that I could take advantage of, and I can private label, I could white label, I could sell over and over again. And I'm getting this information because it's in the Amazon Top 100. When I scroll down, this means this is the top 100 products that are selling like crazy on Amazon. Okay. When I scroll down, there's information about this product. I think, no, I can't see it. That's the first time I've not been able to see that. So I guess because I'm not logged into my account. Yeah, I'm not logged into my account. Let me find another product. This is very interesting. I've never seen that before. So typically you can go straight to product information. It did not bring up product information. That's a first. Hold on. Let me just see if I can get to product information. That's questions. There we go. Product information. I don't know why that other product didn't have a product information, but this product does. So if you scroll down and you can go to product information or product details, you will see this number that we referred to before as the ASIN. This is the number name that Amazon has given this particular product. Amazon has given this particular product. This is the number for it. So it will always be referenced as this under this primary category. If I wanted to sell this particular product, let's say I could sell it as a reseller, then I'm going to do what's called piggybacking. I'm going to jump onto this listing using or become a seller for this listing using the ASIN number. I would add the ASIN number to my back office, and then I would indicate how many I have of it. So if I have a quantity of 10 or a quantity of 20 or a quantity of 30, I would put in my quantity and add this listing to my inventory because of the fact that I have the ASIN information. So as a seller, you're going to need to know that every single one of your products, Amazon will give it an ASIN. You can give your products your own oh Lord, SKU. I was going to say I can't remember what the name is. You can give your own products their own SKU if you want to. But again, the ASIN, Amazon's going to assign it. And as that particular product may like be sold in secondary categories or other categories, it may actually get under secondary category or the third category. It may actually get a completely different ASIN number. Just depends. And if you're selling multiples of it, so let's say I'm selling a 4-pack of this mascara or a 10-pack of this mascara, I can tell you that this will not be the ASIN. The 10-pack will have its own ASIN number. The 2-pack will have its own ASIN number. The 4-pack will have its own ASIN number. So again, under product information, that's where the ASIN is. And under product information, you will see that the sales rank, this is called the BSR, Best Sellers Rank, or BSR. And so the BSR is number 1. That's the bestseller rank. The lower the number, the lower the BSR, the faster the item is selling. The lower the BSR, the faster the item is selling. So that means that this product is selling like hotcakes, and being able to sell it or jump on the listing means you'll have the opportunity to get some sales. If this is a gated product, meaning the manufacturer or the distributor or the brand says, I don't want any other sellers on this listing, then you wouldn't be able to sell it. You would be denied approval to be able to sell the product. But if this particular brand is allowing third-party sellers, then you will be able to sell this particular product if you're approved to be able to sell it based on the brand. So I hope that information is helpful. We're going to start from there next week. You can come back and watch this training again. Definitely go do a Google search for the Amazon training and use that to help you make some decisions in your business. We're going to talk about sourcing products in a little more detail in our next class. And I hope this is helpful. Go back and watch the replay, and we'll say goodbye for now.